How do we live out our Christian faith in the workplace? We lead other people and feel this tension. But how do we stay true to our faith without making others uncomfortable? How do we lead in a way that reflects our values without being preachy or divisive? Stay tuned because it's not your title, not your experience, or even your expertise. It's something much simpler and far more transformative. Hey, friends. Thanks for joining today on Leading with Bill. I'm Bill Martin, your personal leadership coach, and this is where biblical wisdom can transform your leadership and life. If you're a Christian leader working in a diverse workplace, this topic of how do we live out our Christian faith in the workplace has likely been an area you've wrestled with. I know I have. For most of my working experience, it's not acceptable to openly share about my faith in Jesus. So how do I and how do we live out our faith at work? The answer, we lead with love. So maybe that Tina Turner song is coming to mind right now. What's love got to do with it? No, I'm not going to sing it. But here's what I've learned in my years of experience. Love isn't just a Christian principle. It's actually a leadership strategy. And when you lead with love, people notice. Not because you're talking about your faith, but because your actions speak louder than words ever could. Today, we're kicking off a 3-part series called Leading with Faith in Workplaces. And we're starting with the foundation, love as your leadership language. Now, before we dive in today, I want to quickly share. If you want to take a deeper step in your leadership growth, I provide a free resource that can be of great help to you. It's a new manager striving to thriving checklist. Just check the link in the description below to get this free resource. I'd love to share it with you. Now let's start where Jesus started. In John chapter 13 and verse 35, Jesus says, "By this, everyone will know that you are my disciple, if you love one another." Not by how much we talk about our faith, not by how many Bible verses we quote in meetings, but how we love. And in 1 John chapter 4 and verses 7 and 8, we're reminded, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Now, love isn't just something we feel, but it's something we do. It's how we lead. It's how people experience God through us, even if they never hear us mention his name. So the question isn't, how do I talk about my faith at work? The question is, how do I live my faith through the way I lead? So what does love actually look like in leadership? Am I going around the office every morning and giving every person a hug? No, don't do that. If you do, someone from Human Resources will come to talk to you. Instead, let me give you 3 practical ways that love shows up in the workplace. The first, love listens deeply. Love doesn't rush to fix or respond. It listens, really listens. Now, when someone on your team is struggling, whether it's a performance issue, a personal challenge, or just a tough day, love says, I see you and I hear you. You matter. That might mean closing your laptop during a one-on-one. It might mean asking, how are you really doing? And then staying quiet long enough to hear the real answer. And lean in with this question. Can you tell me more about that? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And love listens first. Second is love serves others' growth. Love isn't self-serving. It's focused on others. Now, as a leader, that means you're not just managing tasks. You're developing people. You're asking, how can I help this person grow? What do they need from me to succeed? Maybe it's coaching them through a difficult conversation, or maybe it's advocating for their promotion. Maybe that's giving them a stretch assignment, challenges them to level up. Love says your growth matters more than my convenience. Now, before we hit number 3, if this topic is resonating with you, let me know. Hit like and subscribe, and share in the comments an example where a leader has impacted your growth. Our third is love chooses patience over frustration. Let's be honest, leadership is frustrating sometimes. People miss deadlines, they make mistakes, they don't always get it right the first time. But love is patient, doesn't snap, doesn't belittle, definitely doesn't write people off. I've had moments in my HR career where I wanted to react out of frustration. It's that reaction of, are you kidding me? But love paused and asked, what's really going on here? What does this person need right now? Sometimes patience, it looks like grace. Sometimes it looks like clear accountability delivered with respect. But it always starts with choosing love over irritation. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh, this all sounds nice, but love? Really? That's fluffy, soft stuff. What I need are results. I need performance. I need outcomes. I get it. I've been there. And here's what I've learned. Love and results aren't opposite. They're connected. Think about it. When people feel valued, listened to, supported, when they know their leader genuinely cares about their growth, what happens? They perform better. Gallup research shows that employees who feel cared for by their manager are more engaged, more productive, and less likely to leave. That's not soft. That's return on investment. And when you lead with love, you build trust. And trust is the foundation of high-performing teams. They'll take risks, they innovate, they go the extra mile, not because they have to, because they want to. So yes, love might sound soft, but the outcomes, those are the hard business results. So let me share a moment that changed how I thought about leadership. Early in my HR career, I was talking with a colleague about one of the leaders in our organization. And he said something that I will never forget. That leader is amazing. I would run through a wall for him. Run through a wall. I remember pausing and thinking, what makes someone say that about a leader? What creates that kind of loyalty, that kind of commitment? So I started paying attention. I watched how that leader interacted with his team. And here's what I saw. He listened, really listened when people spoke, cared about their growth, not just their output. And he showed up with patience, even when things got hard. He led with love. And because of that, his team didn't just perform, they thrived. They went above and beyond. They stayed loyal. They loved him in return. That's when it clicked for me. Love isn't soft. Love is what makes people willing to run through walls. And as a leader, that's the kind of impact I wanted to have. Not because I demanded it, because I earned it through love. Here's the thing. Love isn't passive. It's not something you feel and keep to yourself. Love is active. It's intentional. It's a choice that you make every single day as a leader. And when you lead with love, people don't see a good leader. They see something different, something compelling, something that makes them wonder, what makes this person lead this way? That's your witness, not your words, your love. So here's your challenge this week. Identify one person on your team who needs to feel valued. Maybe they're struggling or they're overlooked. Maybe they're just having a tough season. This week, show them love through action, not words about your faith, not a sermon, just love. Listen to them, serve their growth, be patient, and watch what happens. When you lead with love, you're not just being a good leader, you're being a disciple of Jesus in the marketplace. Friends, thanks for joining me today on Leading with Bill. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and we'll see you next time.